So with that in mind, what were your thoughts when it came to putting a move set together for Vince McMahon? Did you have
Yeah,
any
we
thoughts, or
no, I knew we weren't going to put a move set, so to speak. We were going to put the match together, whatever ideas that we had for a match, and I don't recall exactly what that was right now. I just recall that we went through ideas and grabbed the headlock and hit the ropes and kicked me and he gave me a couple stunners because he knew that was going to be part of the match too, and he took a couple stunners. We I know when he went for the cage match with Austin, we set the cage up around the ring and we practiced the bump off the cage onto the table and we measured it and got the exact measurements. And I remember him, Vince, taking the bump off the cage in the studio uh, onto the crash pad where the table would be, and he hit it 3 times in a row, and he did great. And then the night of the match, when he took the bump, he landed on the edge of the table and bruised the living hell out of his back. So there wasn't a move set, but there was the match and what was going to take place in the match. And the reason they had to have that together is because again it was pay per view and you have to know where your camera angles are going to be and how much time you have. So that was the mechanics of that. If we had, I don't recall, maybe it was 18 minutes or something like that, but we would walk through that, but he wasn't certainly wasn't going to be held to a script, or he wasn't going to be held to this, and this. We might do this. We might do this. We might do that. We'll definitely do this, and then get with Steve and go over it all. So that was how that worked, and that it was a take it as it came, and we did.
did you have to liaise with Steve Austin at all? Like, did his vision match the vision that you had both had, or was there some sort of disagreement there? Or
Oh no, 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 no disagreement at all. Yeah, I think everybody was on the same page. The idea, um, what was to get Vince and Austin together, and obviously Steve had his own ideas, and from what I remember, everything worked matched perfectly. And I just remember before the match, uh, at the arena, I was with Vince, helping him get one thing prepared, and Steve came in and said, "Okay, we'll do the Zabada, the Fernum, and the Snavets in there, and you're going to come in and blah 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 blah." And that's what he said is blah 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 blah. And Vince says, "Yeah, okay," and walked out. So they had already talked, and they already had the match. So everybody was on the same page. And even saying we'll do the Zabada and the Fernum Snave and the blah blah blah, right? Well, okay, well they knew what it meant. I had an idea what it meant because Steve didn't want to just repeat the moves,
yeah,
and everybody knew what was going on. So yeah, they were both on the same page, and Vince, obviously the consummate pro. Besides being the boss, he wouldn't ask anybody to do anything he wouldn't do, and so it was put together with both of their visions intact.
excellent. Did you learn anything about, like, I've always been curious. Um, did he take a sort of student of the game mentality? Like, was it easy for him? You said he can empathize and sympathize. Was it easy for him to not be the boss for a second and go into that student role, or was there a bit of both? Or
Yeah, it was never a student role, so to speak. It was more of a performer's role, and as the boss. And what I meant by empathize and sympathize, he always made me feel at home. He could joke, he could laugh, he could be self defacing. He could take a joke. He would make a joke at his own expense, but I always knew he was the boss. He was an intimidating guy, and it wasn't until we started training at various hours of the day and night that I got to see that he is the boss. He has to have this image and perception in order to lead the way he needs to lead. He has to be unwavering at times, and then he has to be sympathetic at times. And when he gets the empathy of, oh man, I know and I feel it, I understand, and he makes you feel it too. He makes you feel that he feels it, and that I think is the trait of a great communicator, knowing how to connect, and he knows where he wants to go. So in order to make that journey, what do you have to do to to make it a good one and productive one? And some people pack a lunch and have a picnic along the way. Vince will come in and work his ass off, and the picnic is getting to know him and get him to talk about how you're feeling that day.
Hmm.
And let's move on to practice. Let's get it done. And are you okay, pal? Everything good? And have a conversation about everything but nothing at the
Yeah.
same time. You know what I mean? And that was a trait uh, that made Vince Vince. He was that guy. You could see him on the fourth floor and say hello, and he would be very business. And 3 hours later, he would be coming in the office and want to talk and laugh. I mean, for whatever reason he had, I don't think he would make his way over to the office just to tell a joke or
Yeah.
laugh or anything. There was a reason, a purpose
Yeah.
behind it, but it was a method he used, and he knew how to be Vince in the conference room. He knew how to be Vince in the ring. He knew how to be Vince when it's just you and him, one on one, talking about whatever you need to talk about.